Hey guys, today I'm filming an empties video, and this is going to be the last empties video I ever do, at least for now. Y'all might change your mind, but I feel pretty set on this decision. I've taken some time to think about this. I've asked you guys in the past if I should continue doing these or not, and you guys have said yes. I get a lot of views on these videos, but for me, it's just repeats. It's repeat reviews from several other projects that I'm doing, and I can see both sides of this. When I've asked before, I know I've gotten some comments that not everybody watches all my project painting videos, so I get it. Like, the empties crowd and the project painting crowd is not always the same crowd, so I do get that. But for the people that do watch all my videos, or most of them, I don't want to be repeating so much, and I don't use up that many fun products. Like, all of my makeup product empties you will see in my yearly makeup use up. In all those check-ins, I do go into detail about every single makeup product that I finished up. And then we have my 365 days of samples that I'm doing, where I'm using hair, skin, and body deluxe and foil samples, and I review those there. Outside of those products, outside of those deluxe size samples, unfortunately there's very few hair, skin, and body full size products that I use up. So my plan from here on out is that at the end of those monthly sample project pan videos, I will show and review the other random hair, skin, and body empties of that month. That's what I'm going to do, because I just don't want it to be so much repeat from other videos, and I do love going into depth in those other videos about those products. So that's what I'm going to do. I apologize if you are not feeling that. Let me know in the comments. And y'all might hate this. We'll see. Because this is going to be my last empties, I'm going to do it differently. I'll see if even I can do this, because you guys know I'm so rigid about stuff. I usually separate all my empties into categories. I have them listed down below with timestamps of when they start. I will list and link all the products. Well, today I'm switching it up. We are doing empties grab bag style. So I have this very large Ulta bag with all my empties in it, makeup, hair, skin, body, and I am just going to pull them out and share my thoughts with you. I don't know if I'm even going to like this, but again, this is my last empties. We're doing it grab bag style. I apologize if you would prefer me to do this in categories. I'll still have everything listed down below. That way you can kind of try to filter around that way in case you want to watch everything. But I don't even know how interesting this will be. But let's go. Let's just do it, okay? And like I said, my plan from here on out is my 365 days of sample series. At the end of the update every month, I will let you know what other hair, skin, and body products that I used up that were not necessarily in a project. Okay. First thing we've got here is the DermaE Vitamin C Micellar Cleansing Water. Oh, also something leaked all over everything, and it's super disgusting, but this is a very nice product. It is really gentle. I do have very sensitive eyes. I didn't have any issue with this when removing eye makeup. I did also use this to remove swatches. You do need to scrub a little bit with liquid lipsticks or really long wearing eyeliners, but this is a very nice product and I would recommend it. It took me forever to get through. Then I've got the e.l.f. Makeup Removing Cleansing Cloths, and you guys, people have really raved about these, and people I only use them for swatches, and I was like, how bougie to use makeup wipes for swatches, because literally I will use this or something like this and then a paper towel. I don't need special wipes for swatches. But then I decided to try these because I think I was getting a freebie. I needed to buy something and I was like, oh, I can use this. So great for swatches. I try to use this to remove my makeup. You guys, this burned the living daylights out of my eyes. I don't know what toxins are in here, but it burned my eyes so bad, and it also burned my skin. So the first time I really was using these, I had the Huda Beauty Emerald Obsessions palette, and I was trying every single color on my eye to make a decision whether I wanted to keep it or not. So I was like, put it on, remove it, put it on, remove it. My eye was so raw and red, and y'all, normally if I was using a Neutrogena makeup remover wipe, no issues, I can guarantee. So raw, so red, it hurt so bad. So these only good for swatches. I do not recommend at all you putting this on your eyes or your face. I've got sensitive eyes, but my face skin is not sensitive, and this was absolutely not. Stay away from that. But speaking of my Neutrogena makeup remover wipes, I think there's, sorry for the crumple. Ah! Okay. This is like, looks like the whole Costco box here. So these are my Neutrogena makeup remover wipes. I've got 2 travel packs, 3 full-size packs. These are my Holy Grail wipes. They are very pricey. There are several ones that I've tried. People love the Costco ones. I cannot stand those either. They are like too gentle. They're not saturated enough. They don't remove my face makeup well because I wear so much, and they also sting and burn my eyes. Not as bad as the e.l.f. ones, but they don't work for me at all either. My family uses them and loves them. I can't stand them. These are literally the only ones I can use. I usually get the big box from Costco because it's much cheaper. You get 4 full-size packs, 2 travel packs. So I highly recommend that. It's my favorite wipe. Because they're on the wipe roll, I've got one more. This is the Ulta Beauty On The Go Cleansing Makeup Remover Facial Towelette. This was not very good. This also wasn't that saturated. It was a little flimsy for me. Not the best at removing makeup, so would not repurchase that one. Next I have the Batiste Clean and Classic Original Dry Shampoo. This is a fine dry shampoo. It is very inexpensive, especially because I only get these when they're half off. But I have one more that I'm going to use up, but I think I've decided I'm not going to purchase it again. Even though it's inexpensive, I would rather spend a couple more dollars to get a high-end dry shampoo on sale, like the Guerlain dry shampoo is always part of the Ulta hair event twice a year. They're only $10. I'm just going to purchase those from now on because they soak up much more oil from my hair. There are other ones that I think are even better. The Dry Bar Detox Dry Shampoo is the best one at soaking up grease out of my hair. So this is fine, but it's not incredible. I don't understand the hype about these. Now this is the only scent I've tried. I haven't tried any of the ones with color or whatnot. It's a good product. Who knows, maybe I'll change my mind and repurchase it in the future, but it's not my most favorite, but it works. I used up the Equate Beauty Nourishing Nail Polish Remover. This is the 6 fluid ounce size. Not my favorite. I prefer the Acetone from the Equate Beauty line. This is only $1, and the Acetone one removes my nail polish so perfectly. With regular ones like this, I really have to scrub at it, so I won't repurchase this unless they don't have Acetone, which happens a lot, unfortunately. The next thing I used up is the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is a 2.8 fluid ounce bottle. It lasted me a decent amount of time. Y'all, this has a really nice scent, but, well, it's not working because there's nothing in here, but the mist on this is incredible. That is why this setting spray is so good. It is $16, but if you can get this, use a $3.50 off $15 coupon. That actually is more savings than a 20% off coupon from Ulta. This is a very good product because of the way it sprays. I don't know that it necessarily prolongs wear my makeup. I wish they made this in more of like a mattifying version because Jaclyn Hill compared it to like Fix Plus but with an aerosol spray, and I think that's actually true because I don't know that it prolongs the wear of my makeup, but just the way the mist is, this is something I would repurchase. I think it's super cool and it is kind of worth the hype when you can get it on sale. Then I used up the Bath & Body Works Japanese Cherry Blossom Shower Gel. The Japanese Cherry Blossom, Country Apple, and Winter Candy Apple are my favorite scents from Bath & Body. They're really the ones I tend to get in the shower gels. Highly recommend. I think that these lather really nicely. They make my skin feel very clean. The scent doesn't linger very long, but I think that's really my body, which rejects fragrance, but it's a good product. I always purchase those during the semi-annual sale. Next I have the It's a 10 Potion 10 Miracle Styling Potion. All the It's a 10 products have such a great scent. This was like a, oh, it smells so good. This is like a really nice leave-in hair product that after I wash my hair, I brush it out. I put this from my ears to the tips, not my ear, yeah, my ears to the tips of my hair. This did make my hair feel a little bit softer. It wasn't as tangly, but this didn't do anything amazing for me, so I would not repurchase it, but I would happily use it up if I got more. Seriously, I think it's this that's all over everything. This is the Johnson's Baby Shampoo. This is the 7 fluid ounce bottle. I use this to wash my makeup brushes. I use something separate for my sponges. I use like bar soap. This is my favorite. It is very gentle and it really gets all the gunk out of my makeup brushes. I did already purchase this, but I got the Walmart kind in a bigger bottle. It works just the same, but this is what leaked all over everything. My hands feel so gross. Ugh. Can't wait to throw this stuff in the trash. Speaking of, here is my Equate Beauty 100% acetone, much better. And also, I've mentioned this before, but I always get the 6 ounce size. It's $1. but I get it because I have this CVS nail polish remover bottle that's also 6 fluid ounce that it has one of those little pump tops on it. I cannot tell you how many times I've knocked over a bottle like this. So that worked so perfectly, and because it's 6 fluid ounces, it literally fills it to the top quite perfectly. And the acetone is the way to go. I know it's not good for your nails. I know it's harsh. I don't care. It works for me. So I will continue to repurchase that. Then I've got my Dove Dry Spray Deodorant. This is the Beauty Finish. My sister had given this to me because it didn't work for her anymore. I do prefer the Renew one. I can't remember what it's called, but it has those little pearls on it. Not this one pearl. It's like tiny little pearls on it. That one I prefer the scent of, but they all work the same for me. This is my favorite deodorant because it is a spray. I don't really get this on my clothes. Now my body has gotten used to it. There are times where I still get sweaty, but I don't get stinky with it. So this is what I will continue to purchase. Excuse me. Even though it is a little bit pricey, it lasts me for like 3 months using it every day, which is pretty dang good. Next I have the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray. This is just a travel size. This, even though this looks like a standard bottle, it disperses the product so nicely onto the skin, so I will be saving this bottle. And even though this was a dewy finish, it wasn't greasy on my skin. It didn't break down my makeup. It made my skin look a little less powdery. I don't know that it prolonged the wear of my makeup. Y'all know I still don't believe in setting sprays, even though I have a bunch right now and I've continued to purchase them because I'm trying to make them work for me. I'm trying to fall in love. This is something I actually really enjoyed and I would love to try this again, but I don't know if I would repurchase it. But this is like a dewy skin product that would work well for oily skin. So I was pretty impressed with that. Then I have this little deluxe size sample of the Sunday Riley Good Genes Lactic Acid Treatment. I felt this was easy to apply. I didn't notice it do anything for my skin, and that's probably because it's so tiny, and this is something you probably have to use for a while, but I've told y'all I don't know anything about skincare. I don't notice it doing things for my skin unless it's like acne related. I don't notice a change in my skin. So I have another of these that I'll use up, but I don't see myself purchasing it unless it was just because I fell into the hype and got it on a good sale, because I don't notice anything different. Then we've got the CoverFx Illuminating Primer. This does give a nice amount of hydration to the skin. It does have a nice subtle glow, but this is not my favorite glowy primer. My favorite is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, and I had just a little deluxe size sample here. I did actually repurchase this in the travel size. This is the best glowy primer for oily skin because it does set down. It does give that beautiful glow, but it isn't going to make me greasy. So out of all the glowy primers that I've tried, this one is definitely my favorite and the only one that I'll repurchase. But if I get more of these, I'll use them up. They don't make me that greasy. They just don't do anything for me. So next I've got an EOS Smooth Sphere in Sweet Mint. I love these so much. I mentioned before that these are my holy grail favorite lip balms. The hype has died down for most people. These are my favorite because they're not too thick or too thin. I'm someone that reapplies lip balm very frequently throughout the day, and this just lasts on my lips for a while. I love this scent so much. I don't like fruity flavored lip products. I only really like mint, so this is something I will definitely continue to repurchase. But I've got 2 more in here that were in my back stock, and I went to open them. Y'all, these have gone bad. They smell so terrible. And if you guys have never smelled an expired EOS, like, if you're not sure if yours has expired, girl, let me tell you, you'll know. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Oh, this one is Vanilla Mint. Love this one. This one is supposed to be like more moisturizing with the swirls. Girl, they the same, just a different scent. I'll repurchase both of these scents, but I think I like Sweet Mint just a little bit more, which surprises me because I hate Orbit Sweet Mint gum, but this is not so sweet. So like, yeah, that was very sad. I went to use these and they totally went bad on me, which I was very surprised by, and it hasn't happened before. So I'm keeping that in mind. I'm not going to keep a back stock of these lip balms. I like to have the sticks in my purse and the spheres around the house. It's not really necessary for me to have both though, so I need to keep that in mind, but I do love these and really sad those other ones went bad on me. Next I have a little perfume sample of the Guerlain Mon Guerlain. This is incredible. I don't know the fragrance notes, y'all. I don't remember that stuff. But this is a very warm, sultry scent, but it is not too spicy. This for me is right on the verge. So like YSL Black Opium, Guerlain, Mon Guerlain, they're like as spicy as I will go. It is a very intense, rich fragrance, so it's something that I would only use at night or in the fall, winter time. I don't love this enough to buy a full-size bottle, but I do have this in one of the little Scentbird sizes, which is the perfect size for me. So if you're interested in this, check out Scentbird for sure. So I think have a couple more samples of this, which I'm very happy to have. It is a staple for me fall winter, but again, I'm not so obsessed and I want to buy it in the full size because it's a little spicy. So the next thing, I don't think I mentioned before. If I have, forgive me, girl. This is the Daisy Marc Jacobs fragrance, the 3.4 ounce size. I've only had this for a few years, but I felt like it wasn't as strong as it used to be. I love this perfume. This is a very nice, fresh, womanly scent, but it doesn't have any of that baby powdery undertone that makes it smell too mature. This is fantastic, but unfortunately this is an eau de toilette, not an eau de parfum. And as I mentioned before, my body rejects fragrance, so I have to use perfumes, not toilettes, because they just don't last on me. But I was able to use this up very quickly. I was about halfway through it at the beginning of the year because I was able to douse myself in this. I do still have a roller ball, which I'll be happy to use. I love the scent of this. I just want them to make it in a perfume so it will last longer on me, but until that time I won't repurchase it. Next we've got the Ouai treatment mask, a very nice scent, but this is very thin like shampoo, so it kind of conditions and nourishes my hair, but not that well because it isn't a thick product. But the scent of this is amazing and smells very high-end. I do have a Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I'll use these for like 3 or 4 months, or unless it gets like a tear in it or something, and then I'll just toss it. So this is my favorite sponge. I will use this angled flat side here to put on my foundation. I'll use this side, the pointed end, for concealer, the back side for under eye and face setting powder. It works perfectly for me. Love this sponge. I will continue to repurchase it. Next I have the MAC Prep and Prime Natural Radiance Primer in the Radiant Pink shade. Whether you get radiant pink or yellow, once you blend it on your skin, it goes clear. This is a nice, nourishing, hydrating primer. It doesn't give any shimmer, thankfully, because one of the other primers from MAC Prep and Prime does, which I don't like. This is a product that I do enjoy. I would use up more of these, but it doesn't do enough for my skin to actually purchase it. Next, we have a great accomplishment of mine. This is a mini NARS Velvet Lip Glide in the shade Bound. It's a beautiful mauve color. I love the formula of this. It is more of a medium full opacity. It is very smooth on the lips. It is not sticky, so it can wear away a little bit quicker, but this is amazing, and I actually did already repurchase this. I was able to get this for 60% off, which is incredible. Love this formula and this color. Definitely recommend it. Then I've got the Drunk Elephant Lala Retro Whipped Cream. This is a little bit thick for me. I did use this as a night cream. I didn't love it on my skin, but when I would put my Sunday Riley oil on first and then this on top, it did glide onto my skin a lot easier. I love the container. I'm gonna keep the container because I'm crazy, but no, it's just a basic moisturizer. I would not repurchase that. Then we've got my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, 1W1 Bone. This is my holy grail foundation. Gives medium buildable to full coverage, more of a satin finish. This shade is too dark for me, but it is perfectly yellow. They did recently just release one lighter shade in the warm tone category, but it's more peachy, not yellow, so it doesn't work for my skin, unfortunately. So I'm just going to continue buying 1W1 Bone because it's yellow enough, and I mix it with my Hard Candy Glamouflage mixer in porcelain, which is yellow tone but very, very pale as well. Perfect coverage, perfect consistency, perfect color for me. So this is something that I will definitely repurchase. Holy grail. Yuck, this, oh my gosh, this thing got it bad. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I can't wait to wash my hands. This is a little deluxe size. This, I think I got this with a 100-point perk, possibly. This is the Drunk Elephant Be Hydra Intensive Hydration Serum. This did give some nice extra hydration. This would be great in combination with a moisturizer like this one. But for me, I've got oily skin. I don't need serums to give me extra hydration. So it's not something I would repurchase, but it was a nice product, nice scent, nice consistency, but no girl, I don't need that. Then we have a surprising difficult product here. This is the Balm Cabana Boy Blush. This is a tiny little deluxe size sample size from an Ipsy or a Birchbox. I was gifted this by a friend. I have this shade in a palette. It's a beautiful plummy berry blush with some shimmer in it. Love this blush for the winter time. I put this in a project pan. I used it every single day for 3 months and I barely used it up in time. That's insane. So like, I am never gonna put a full-size blush in a project pan unless I have a huge dip in it and it's just a hit pan, because it was insane how long this took me, but it is very pigmented. I love the Balm blushes. I think they have such beautiful shades. They're very pigmented. They last nicely on my skin. So this is something that I would definitely purchase in the full size. I do have it in the palette, but if I use that one up, I would definitely repurchase it in the full size. I love the color and formula, and that was quite an accomplishment. Next, I have the Garnier Nutrice Nourishing Color Cream. This, I must have thrown away the hair dye. So that goes along with the Garnier Nutrice Nourishing Color Cream hair dye, which is my favorite. I love number 93 Light Golden Blonde. It is the color of my hair here. I've mentioned before that I have redheads in my family. So when I buy golden blonde hair dyes, my hair turns out more of a strawberry blonde, which is the color I prefer. I think it looks very natural on me. This is the color I wish my hair was instead of this ugly whatever that is. So I always dye my hair this color. I love, my mom always dyes my hair. I love this box set because it has more of a conditioner consistency, so it's super easy to work through the hair. It isn't very runny, and what comes with it is this little conditioning treatment. By the way, I always love to give this shout out. I love that it's not like a big foil pack because that's hard to reuse in the shower. This is just a nice little bottle with a little lid on it. It smells amazing. This is super conditioning. I wish they sold this on its own because it's so incredible. So definitely recommend this conditioner, this hair dye. If you buy the hair dye, get this and use it all to its entirety. It's so good. Next, I have a little foil sample of the Drunk Elephant C Tango Multivitamin Eye Cream. Y'all, this is actually really good. You know, there are very few eye creams I feel like do anything for me, but I love the way that this felt on my skin. I don't know if it did anything super incredible for me, but I really loved this, and this is something I would contemplate repurchasing. Little spoiler for my haul, I did pick up 2 of the little 100-point perk sizes that just came out recently, and I'm very excited to try those out and see how much I love this, because the 2 eye creams I absolutely love would be this one and the Caudalie Resveratrol Lift Eye Lifting Balm. Both of them are freaking hella expensive, but they're my favorite just because they are that nice balmy consistency under my eyes. So very happy to have 100-point perks of these. If I can get more foil samples in the future, I absolutely will. Foil samples of eye creams are amazing because they last you such a long time. So a really, really good, surprising favorite. Speaking of Drunk Elephant, here I have a little mini of the Protini Polypeptide Cream. This is very weird because this looks like a gel, but when I started to apply it on my skin, it was kind of white. It was like a mix between a gel and a cream. This is a really great daytime moisturizer for someone that does have oily skin. In the winter time, springtime, like it works well. I do enjoy this product, but it's not something I would repurchase. It didn't do anything amazing for my skin. If I'm gonna buy a high-end moisturizer, I'm gonna pick the Belif True Cream Aqua Bomb over this one, but again, I'm gonna keep the container because it's so freaking cute. Next, I have the Madam C.J. Walker Beauty Culture Wonderful Deep Conditioning Mask. I think that this line has been discontinued from Sephora, which is a shame. This does have a nice scent. It did moisturize my hair nicely, but this didn't do more than my L'Oreal Everpure conditioner that I'm so in love with, so I would not repurchase it even if it was still available. Then we've got the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder in the translucent light shade. They do have several shades now, which is amazing. I did actually purchase this during the 21 Days of Beauty. This is an amazing powder. Even though this says it's translucent, it's more of like a light, more yellow tone powder. This sets my makeup so beautifully. It makes my skin look airbrushed. It looks like it gives a tiny bit of coverage, but it doesn't make me look dry. Too Faced loose powders are absolutely incredible. I would love to use the Born This Way in the winter and the spring, and then the Too Faced Peach Perfect during the summer and the fall when I'm more oily. Those 2 powders are really all I need in my life. Like, I want more, but you know what I mean. Those worked so well. So highly, highly recommend this one, and it was definitely a surprise favorite as well. Here's a powder I couldn't stand. This is a ColourPop No Filter setting powder in the translucent shade. I had used so much of this to feel like it actually set my skin, that it was no longer tacky. Did nothing for me, would not recommend or repurchase that. Then I've got the Origins Checks and Balances Frothy Face Wash. People are obsessed with this, just okay for me. I have other cleansers I prefer, and like the Mario Badescu Acne Facial Cleanser, absolutely love that one, and that's one I will continue to repurchase, even though those others that I like, you know, that's just a go-to for me, and it's a great price. Then I used up the MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC15. Y'all, I've had this for years because it looks like an eyeshadow compact, but literally all the way to the bottom of the jar is full with concealer. Perfect shade match for me. I was using this to clean up my brows, my eyeshadow, and fill in my forehead wrinkles. It worked perfectly for that, but it's not something that I actually need to repurchase, especially because it takes forever to use up, so you do get your money's worth. This is fine for a blemish concealer, but it's a little too sticky for me. I do prefer just like a regular liquid concealer with great coverage, so this is not something I would repurchase right now, but it is a good product. I was able to find some good, helpful uses for it. Then we've got the Ole Henriksen Truth Serum Collagen Booster. This is a great way to add some vitamin C into your skincare routine. A little bit sticky, but not terrible. So this is something that I might consider purchasing in the future. I do have another of these I would use up. Great for like a daytime serum. Then I've got the Glam Glow Super Cleanse Clearing Cream to Foam Cleanser. I loved this one. It made my skin feel super fresh and clean. Glam Glow was hella expensive, so unless I found this for a really good price at TJ Maxx, I wouldn't pick it up, or unless it was like a weekly wow at Sephora half off. But this was amazing, much better than the Origin. Next we have the Kate Somerville Cold Cream Moisturizing Cleanser and Makeup Remover. I don't think this did a very nice job at removing my makeup. Would not repurchase that. Then we've got the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the Brightener shade. I love this formula. It does give actually like a medium coverage, super smoothing under the eyes. It really sets itself quite nicely. It isn't heavy at all. I love this applicator. It just makes applying it so easy, and everything about this is amazing except they don't have a shade for me. Brightener is light enough for me, but it's way too pink. Neutralizer is yellow enough, but way too dark. The lightest shade, they did release a lighter shade at the beginning of the year, matches my skin tone perfectly, so it doesn't work to brighten. So this is not something I will repurchase until they release a lighter shade for me, and it's a little pricey too, but the formula is incredible. If they do have your shade, highly recommend it. I used up the Dr. Brandt Pore Dermabrasion Pore Perfecting Exfoliator. This is a nice scrub. Didn't do anything incredible for me. I have others that I like just as well from a drugstore, so I will not repurchase this, but I'll use it up if I get more. Then I've got this little Adults by Kilian perfume sample. This is something that I enjoyed. This is a very, I can't think of the right word, but like a gender neutral fragrance. At first I couldn't tell if it was a cologne or a perfume. It's actually perfume, but I think this could work for anybody. It's a nice scent. I think that would be a really nice candle scent, but it's a little too intense for me to want to purchase, and it's really expensive anyway, so works out just fine for me. Then we've got the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. This is just a little mini. I do love this. It's a great brush tip liquid lining pen. Works really well, but I don't know if it's just the little minis or not, but these dry out so quickly on me, so I would never purchase that in the full size. Also because the Physicians Formula Eye Booster works just as well, and I always pick that one up on sale. Then I finally used up the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair. I did take out the stopper, and these stoppers are a beast. Like, I broke my tweezers, stabbed my hand, all kinds of crazy things trying to get it out, but this is totally worth the money to me. And I had the shade Fair, which is very light and more of a neutral tone. This is too light for me. It looked too pale under my eyes. So now I have the shade Fair Neutral. It's what I'm using today. That works perfectly for me. So I'll continue to repurchase that shade. This is my favorite under eye concealer. I don't necessarily need this much coverage, but the formula works so well for me that I will continue to repurchase this, and hopefully once or twice a year they'll continue to have it 50% off from Ulta, so I can get some backups of it, because like one tube does last me a year. And now like I will still try other under eye concealers from time to time, but that's really the one that I need. Then I have another perfume sample here. This one is Dior Joy. This is something that I contemplated purchasing, but part of this smells like an old lady, but like a nice old lady, like really also fruity as well. I don't know. Luckily, I have a couple more perfume samples of this. I would love to get a little baby bottle. I would love that so much. But yeah, this is really intense. This is also something I would just use fall, winter. I do like it, but I don't love it. And unfortunately, they don't sell this scent on Scentbird, or else I would absolutely purchase that. Again, that would be the perfect size for me. So I still don't know about this one. I do like it, happy to have more samples, but I don't think this is something I would buy in the full size. Again, I think this is something that I would need in a Scentbird size. I will just cross my fingers that eventually they will start carrying this fragrance. It is relatively new. So next I have the Too Faced Hangover RX Replenishing Face Primer. This gives you a lot of hydration to your skin, which is why it does not work at all for my oily skin. It made me so greasy. But if you do have really dry skin, I think this would be a great primer for you, because it doesn't just feel like a moisturizer. It does make your foundation go on nice and smooth, but it does give you a ton of hydration. So again, not for me, but it would be great for someone with dry skin. Next I have the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes Mascara. This does have a natural bristle brush, and this is more of a dry formula. This does give some nice length and separation, but because it is a dry formula, this dries out way too quickly for me, so I would not repurchase it. I do have another mini of this that I will use up, but again, not my favorite. Then I used up this little deluxe sample size of the Lorac Alter Ego Lip Gloss in the shade Goddess, which was a purpley pink mauve color. Very beautiful. This gloss did have a medium opacity. It had a beautiful shine to it. It was a little thicker, so as it wore off, it would be a little bit sticky on the lips, but honestly not bad. I don't think I would repurchase this in the full size because it's not my favorite gloss formula, but it's not a terrible formula and I really like the color. If I could get another little baby size of it, I totally would, and I would use it up again, but I don't love it enough for the full size. Then I have this Biossance Squalane and Probiotic Gel Moisturizer that is supposed to hydrate, brighten, and balance skin. I have heard of Squalane and that it should be good for your skin. I don't know what it's supposed to. I've just heard of it, so I was excited to try this out. First off, the packaging is so deceiving. So this tiny inner circle right here is all the amount of product that you get. Literally, I compared, let's see how much it is, 3 mils or 0.10 fluid ounces. I compared the size of this to a little foil sample of another product. You get way more product in a foil sample. So this is like a total ripoff packaging wise. This was a fine gel moisturizer. It worked well with my oily skin, but yeah, I wouldn't purchase it. I'm sure it's incredibly expensive, just guessing off of this crappy little sample here, but no thank you. Then I have the Hard Candy Glamouflage Mix In Pigment Drops, and I have the shade Fair 1. I started out right here. This was in my yearly makeup use up, and then I also put this in my winter project pan. I don't love this. It is super duper thin. This is great to adjust the color of your foundation, but because it's so thin, it does not help to give more coverage. This is supposed to be a dupe of the CoverFx Custom Cover Drops. Those give more coverage and adjust the color. This one just adjusts the color. And because it's so thin, in fact, it does thin out foundation formulas. So I did use this mixed with Estee Lauder Double Wear, which is more of a thin consistency, and that did still work out. I still got a decent amount of coverage with that, but I used, half the bottle up by mixing this with my original bottle of the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo foundation, which is a very thick, heavy foundation, and it was hard to work with. But mixing it with this thinned out the consistency but kept that good coverage. So if you have a product that is too thick for you but you're wanting to use it up, this does work really well for that. And the shade Fair 1 was not a perfect shade. It was very pale, but it was a little bit more on the neutral leaning pink side and I needed something a little bit more yellow. So for a mixer, I will continue to use the Hard Candy Glamouflage Foundation in Porcelain over this one. Very happy I used it up because I've had it for forever. I was definitely able to make it work, but would not purchase that again. Then I have the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation in the shade number 1 Ivory. It's my perfect shade. It's very fair and yellow tone. Unfortunately, you don't get a ton of product in here, and this does can't get it. So that's all you get, and then you just have all this extra packaging. That's all you get. Retails for $10, and I go through this powder super quickly. Shade Ivory is a perfect match for me. Very fair and yellow tone. I love this powder because it does give absolutely amazing coverage to my skin, and it does have a slight glow to it, which is why it makes you look matte but not flat. I do love this powder, but I go through it so quickly, and it can look a little heavy on the skin. My favorite powder that I've tried is the Maybelline Better Skin. Unfortunately, that was recently discontinued, so I'm still waiting for that sucker to pop up at a Big Lots or TJ Maxx, and it hasn't happened yet, but I will still keep my hopes up that it will, and I'll get a million backups of it. That just looks a little bit smoother and finer on the skin. This is still amazing, and I still love it, but I've really been using a lot more loose powders recently, and it's just a little pricey for how quickly I go through it, but this is something I would recommend, especially if you can wait until there's a 40 or 50% off sale. The last thing I have here is a deluxe size sample of the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus Foundation. I have the shade Y205, which is the lightest shade with a yellow undertone. This was too pale for me, so I used this as a mixer, and it worked really well for that. And I'm very happy with their shade range, and I'm so glad that they redid this foundation. They added a lot more shades, and they named them the same shades as the Ultra HD foundation, which is great, because before, old packaging, they did not have the same shade names or the same shade range, and there was no color for me. So Y215 is my perfect match. This was a little light for me, like I said, but I love this as a mixer. I actually liked it better as a mixer than I did on its own. I have tried the new formula in my proper shade, and I just didn't love it. It didn't give me a full coverage. It was not the most mattifying or long wearing. It was good. I liked it, but it wasn't my most favorite. I have other foundations that I prefer, so I would not repurchase this one, but you know, I would happily use up more deluxe size samples. So guys, I know this was very long, and let me know what you guys think of this being my very last empties. I hope you didn't mind this grab bag style. I think I actually did pretty well, like kind of rambly, but I was fine with it being random and not so perfect, so I'm kind of proud of myself, which I know is like so silly, but again, if you guys know my videos, I'm very like, so the fact that I just got a little messy with it makes me feel pretty good. So I'm not going to say it again, I told you twice, so my plan is going to be for showing you guys my empties. But I hope you guys are okay with that. I feel pretty good with my decision. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.